Hey Scorpio, welcome to your August 2018 tarot reading. So, first off the bat, this month is, astrologically speaking, very much about career, at least for the first 20 days or so. And even then, once the first 20 days, because Mercury goes direct on the 20th in your career sector, you're going to be experiencing what I would call a eureka moment with your career, with your goals, with your profession, what it is success means for you. Okay, so I read this quote on, I think it was Pinterest, where someone said, we ask people what their career is to work out their value. Okay, and that shouldn't be the case. Your value is not determined by your career, it's not determined by how successful you are. The people up here, Bill Gates, no more important in this world, really, than you. Okay, so that may seem quite strange to understand, but monetary value and success at certain things do not rule out success at other things. You may be in a completely different profession that would never make the Forbes list, for example. That doesn't mean that that success isn't important. That doesn't mean that your value isn't important, okay? Similarly, when we make it to higher levels, be mindful of how you treat the people that you know and that have helped you succeed, because you're very rarely an island. You know, people help you out the whole way up. Okay, so the term self-made is a little bit sensitive for some people. It's not always the case where one person is completely self-made. There's been people that have helped you along the way. There's going to be big moments of success for Scorpio, particularly because we were dealing with a supermoon. I believe it was a blue moon in Leo in February in the same area of the sky. And to deal with a solar eclipse and a new moon suggests that you set your goals, you set your intentions, you think bigger than you have done in your professional life in a long time, okay? So this year has seen a lot of growth and a lot of excitement and a lot of change for you in career and how you value yourself and your money. It's not all about career though, because there is going to be a full moon at the end of the month in Pisces, 5th house energy for Scorpio, true love, romance, that type of thing. Now, as it's a full moon, it's very much about what you want to let go and what you want to realize, whether this is attitudes, belief systems, write down what your core 3 beliefs are about your love life and see if that's what you want. That's probably not what you want. You'll have set new values in March with the new moon in Pisces, and you'll have seen a lot of things change and a lot of people possibly come and go. A lot of things stay as they were in your relationships, and if they have stayed as they were and you're not happy with that, it's time to make a change. It's time to make a progression. But baby steps, because there is going to be a lot of retrograde energy in the sky, with Mars still retrograding in your home sector, with Pluto retrograding. Those are your rulers. So you may be feeling a little bit like you can't breathe. I know when I've sat down to do these readings, I've had a nightmare trying to get them up and trying to get them done, but trying to see where we can go. Now we have the Chariot here, which does suggest progression, and it suggests you're more in control of your situation than you may care to believe. Okay, so you're in the driving seat. So also be wary of how you are taking care of your outer shell, because with cars we have maintenance, we have checks, we have making sure that they're safe to be put on the road. Are you safe to be put in certain situations? Are you mentally okay to be going into new relationships? Are you mentally okay to be going into a new job? How are you as a person? If you're checking your car more than you're checking yourself and making sure that everything's fine here, look in with yourself and make sure that everything is tip-top. Because Mercury retrograde in particular is a good time to evaluate your mentality, because Mercury rules the mind. It's a good time to look inward and see what your belief systems are, and if you're possibly still a little bit in the past. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing twice and expecting different results. Change it up. The Lover's energy is the first card off the bat, so we're getting a romance coming through here. Possibly later towards the end of the month with that full moon in Pisces, but what's crossing it is the Knight of Wands. So we're dealing with a fire sign, possibly Scorpio. We may also be dealing with travel, with home, relocation, with Mars retrograding in your 4th house. Possibly a move is delayed. You're possibly long distance with a lover, or possibly, if it's a fire sign, their carefree and a blasé attitude about your relationship may finally be getting to you. Queen of Swords is in the past position, so this is your period of being single. What did you learn from it? What did you learn from being on your own? There's a recent romance, or a romance beginning in August, I'm feeling. And I feel like it's a lot to do with travel. Some of you are definitely relocating. Some of you are moving. Of course, with Mercury retrograde, expect delays. Especially with travel, expecting delays. Arriving early rather than on time to things. But some of you may have met somebody through traveling, so some of you may have had a holiday romance. And you're also seeing financial success, or you're maybe seeing a bit more security in certain areas of your life. 10 of Pentacles is all about financial abundance and financial security. I do believe this is the solar eclipse in your 10th house energy, as this is the 10 of Pentacles. Some of you are definitely dealing with a fire sign, and some of you are having a brand new job on the go. There's renewed hope and energy around you, renewed optimism. But some of you are hoping for something more committed and more stable. Some of you are wondering when it is you're going to meet that person. And here is that person. Oh, this is all looking a bit easy so far. I have a strange feeling something's going to come out of the woodwork here. Okay. We have the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. So some of you may meet someone very special through work or through work networking events. There's an earth sign energy here as well. There seems to be a fire sign person more towards the past and an earth sign person more towards the future. Or a difference in personalities. For example, the Knight of Wands, the personality was someone who was quite a breadcrumber. And I don't know if you know what a breadcrumber is, but it's someone that gives you a little bit just to keep you interested and keep you maintained, and then disappears. Throws you a little bit, disappears. It's like breadcrumbing, so they're treating you like a seagull, you know, like it's not making you happy, that's why it's crossing you. And then there's this person, and when I see a King of Pentacles and a Queen of Pentacles, I'm feeling a real strong connection here, a really strong potential, particularly with the 10 of Pentacles. Now, if this isn't romantic, this is career. This is you becoming a King of Pentacles character. This is you being in charge of your own money, making money, seeing more green in the world, being more environmentally friendly, being more outdoorsy, really connecting with your heart chakra, which is done through nature walks, being outside, getting fresh air, perfect in the northern hemisphere during the summer. And I feel like there is a lot of, because even in this 8 of Wands, there's greenery. But I feel like this is someone who's very good for your heart chakra, someone who's very emotionally nutritious, someone who's very giving, someone who's very affectionate, someone who's very consistent, is what I'm seeing as somebody coming through. Okay, so there's a real earth sign connection here. But as I say, it could be sun, moon, or rising, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, possibly someone very different to your usual type, because this is what's crossing you, the Knight of Wands. Okay, so as I say, Scorpio, this is all a bit easy for you guys, so I'm like, what's coming? Let's see. Let me see. Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. Four of Cups. Okay, so there is a romance that you're losing interest in as we begin the month, or in the recent past, maybe July. Possibly an Aries person wronged you. I feel like there's a real strong Aries link. They're crossing you, so you may not have been entirely sure of this person or committed to this person, but they're not doing it for you right now. You're feeling a bit either rejected by this person or you're rejecting this person. I do feel like it's almost a little bit, to me, it looks too little too late when I see the Four of Cups coming in here with the lovers. It's like, you know, where were you when I needed you? You weren't there to give me what I needed when I needed it most. It was a battle. You felt lonely most of the time. And now we have 2 pages, so we have a romantic offer coming in, most likely from an earth sign. But there's an element of, where can this go? possibly due to a distance. I do think there is a distance for a lot of people, a geographic distance. Yeah. A lot of you are also feeling very career driven, and you're wondering if you can actually incorporate a romantic relationship into your life while you are so focused on your career and self-development, because it almost looks like you've made a commitment to you and you're not willing to let somebody else chance that for you. There's also a Leo person on the periphery. This could be a friend, this could be a romantic interest, but there's a message coming in from them that's positive, okay? So this is a positive Leo person in your life. Maybe you're connecting strongly with a person who's very outgoing, very warm, very friendly, very infectious. You know, confidence is infectious. The Star card is leading you out of a dark period of self-discovery. So you've maybe been having a few days. I don't know about you guys, but the solar eclipse in Cancer for me was so draining. I had some bad news around that time, and it's really it was I can see what this means, because this is a star leading you out of the dark. I believe this came up in Cancer's reading as well. As I say, whether or not you believe in the Bible, that story about the shepherds following the star when they're in the darkness to get to where they need to go, these two cards are actually very similar. For an Aquarius Virgo relationship between the two of them, it's all about finding your way through the darkness. Two of Wands and the Queen of Cups. I don't mean to sound so giddy, but I'm sort of looking at this like, what? Because again, this also, Queen of Cups came up in the Cancer reading as well. But this is very clearly you and somebody else. This is very clearly you and someone who is this guy, you know, or this woman, whatever. You know, gender and element isn't always completely concrete in tarot. We know that by now, so don't get at me in the comments saying it's not an earth sign. It doesn't have to be an earth sign, but the king is my favorite king, so yeah, there. He's someone who's very reliable, someone who's very dependable, someone who's very self-sufficient, someone who's very traditional, in some cases to an extent. And then with the Queen of Cups, which is your card, it feels like a very strong connection. Okay, so they both look pretty happy to me. And then underneath we have the Queen of Wands. So there is a fire sign still in the periphery. I find with the water signs there usually is. There's this push and pull from water and fire signs that comes up so much in tarot readings. But there's this like steamy connection, but a lot of the time it's, you know, it's too little too late a lot of the time. I do feel like there's a fire sign keeping an eye on you though. Yeah, you're getting a lot more back this month in terms of other people's energy and other people's time and effort. You're getting back what you've been giving, so make sure you're giving enough in this this month as well, Scorpio. It's a two-way thing. There's no use holding everything back and thinking someone's going to be able to read your mind, because they're not you. They don't read minds. Five of Wands. Somebody from your past is possibly fighting you, or you're fighting the urge to go back to a person, is what I'm sort of seeing here. Somebody who was a little bit, I do think there's been an argument, there's been an exchange of words that was quite tricky, possibly with an Aries person or a fire sign, maybe with a Gemini. There seems to be a bit of a battle of words. And I think for a lot of you, you're just done with the past. I do feel that way. You're done with the relationships that don't work. You're done with trying to fit a square into a circle. You know, going for particular energies that just aren't working for you. You're finding a lot more suitable candidates this month, and I do feel a lot of you are finding a lot of success with an earth sign. As I said, it doesn't have to be, but the fate seems to be changing with Jupiter going direct, okay? So this can also indicate Leo personalities, other Scorpios, Aquarius, or Taurus. Fixed sign energy is quite prominent here as well. But I do think you're beginning the most part of the month, as I say, very career focused, very self-care. Be wary with Mars in retrograde of running yourself down. It's not the time to start a very intense workout regime where you're like pumping raw and going full throttle in a gym if you don't usually. You could hurt yourself. Be mindful of that. Mars energy is tough. You're not at your best physically. You know, you're not brimming with energy. It's just not. it's no use pushing yourself when you're not feeling that way, Scorpio. Go for a walk in the country instead. The Magician here and the Sun energy is very interesting. This is all about those manifestations still coming for you guys that were coming in July. You're moving away from tricky energy. You're moving away from people that manipulate your heart and take things from you without giving anything in return. As I said, with the Six of Pentacles energy, moving forward from these type of people that are all take, take, take. Particularly if you're dealing with an Aquarius or a Virgo. The World card here is also interesting. And King of Wands. Oh. Oh, Scorpio, you're playing piggy in the middle. Look at that. That's you in between two very... I'm sensing a lot of you possibly have two interests, okay? Two love interests, possibly an earth sign, possibly a fire sign. I almost see this as you possibly moving forward with an earth sign, and maybe a fire sign from the past is still in the picture, or you're maybe considering the fire sign in the picture. But I think you're going towards this guy. I think you're going towards the King of Pentacles rather than this one, okay? I almost feel like this is maybe you turning your past and going for someone more compatible. Turning your back on the past. I also think this is you in between your passions and your finance. Having a lot of balls in the air. Probably wasn't the best way to put that, but you know what I mean? This is you working very hard on your finances and your career situation rather than working on trying to find somebody. Maybe you're working so much on yourself that people just appear. I do feel like you're in the middle of something though. And it's interesting that it's a queen in between two kings. I'm intrigued by this because I do see the fire sign being tricky. I do see a fire sign being tricky. I think it's maybe that you're trying to move forward from this person. Maybe it is too little too late. But this energy is very compatible. Some of you may actually go for a fire sign that may be new. But some of you are, guarded against being hurt again. And I think this is very much, maybe circumstances are being tricky for you. But I'm going to draw a little clarifier for this because 3 court cards, the outcome is interesting to say the least. Nine of Wands, don't give up. Don't lose hope. So we do have a lot of fire energy, and then we have Cancerian energy with the Chariot. So I feel very strongly that there is a commitment coming in for you guys that has been long overdue. You've been waiting for a very long time. I think you're finally starting to see success where it's felt like an uphill struggle. Okay, I think there is going to be a very significant relationship forming, possibly around the full moon in Pisces. It maybe takes this full moon for you to let go completely of all the stuff that hasn't working and begin this new phase. I'm just so intrigued by this queen in the middle of 2 kings. It's just very, it's just very funny, I guess. It's a weird one to look at, but this is very much, pleasant surprise. This is very, some of you that are dealing with cancers as well, like cancer relationships, there seems to be a connection here. Maybe a lot of you live with a cancer, maybe a lot of you are best friends with a cancer. There seems to be a very pleasant interchange between Scorpios and Cancer, but the Nine of Wands asks you not to give up on this. Is something that you've been waiting for. I suspect with the Wheel of Fortune here, it may be that a lot of people have re-emerged with the retrograde energies. I know for me, I've been, say you're on chapter 9 of the book that is your life, you can hear from people in chapter 2 You know, I've heard from people from very, 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 very long ago that I haven't thought about in years, and it's an interesting energy. People reappearing, reemerging in different scenarios and different forms. And to be fair, a lot of them for me have been earth signs. So there does seem to be earth sign energy coming up here for Scorpios. But I do think you may have to make a choice. I mean, we do have the... Oh, where'd you go? Yeah. Two of Wands here. So you might have to choose between an earth sign and a fire sign. But as I say, it doesn't have to be the element. You know, I've seen even the King of Pentacles, I've seen come up for Leo people, for Pisces people. It's not necessarily the element, but it's the qualities. You know, the King of Pentacles is a very good, he's a good, solid dude, in my opinion. The King of Wands is more exciting, maybe. So you may have the option of both, or you may actually find that these energies blend into one person that fits you perfectly, as this is your energy in the middle. I do feel like a choice in love may be coming up this month, but I feel like career success, passionate success, there's going to be a ball rolling this month, Scorpio, and it's going to snowball. Okay, so I do think the first part of the month starts off pretty slow, and it's all about you. It's all about investing in yourself, investing in your health, your wealth. I don't have anything more that rhymes with that word, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty significant month for you Scorpios, and I think a lot of you are going to come out of it a bit dazed at how exciting things are towards the end of it rather than at the beginning. I think the beginning's a bit slow, and then it kicks off towards the end of the month. So I will see you in September, Scorpio. Bye.